This is the garden of the righteous among the nations, where country by country, those who have saved Jews during the Holocaust, their names are here in stone. There's also a walkway of righteous among the nations where trees were planted. And the name righteous among the nations actually comes from the Talmud. It's stated in there that the righteous among the nations of the world have a place in the world to come. This honor is bestowed upon non-Jews who acted according to the most noble principles of humanity by risking their own lives in order to save Jews during World War II. This practice was started by Yad Vashem in 1963 as a worldwide project to honor these individuals. In order to achieve this status, they have had to pass many criterion that was voted on and still voted on today by a panel of many individuals. There were testimonies given by victims, survivors, witnesses, that they compiled all of this information and voted to make these individuals righteous among the nations. We as Jews and as human beings owe them a debt of enormous gratitude, and in fact the Yad Vashem law confers honorary citizenship on all of these individuals, and if they have passed away, then on to their offspring. And I will hand you over to David.
Okay. John and Theresa, would you like to? This is the small essence of the story of the relatives of Don, and whatever's written here is nothing compared to what actually took place, because you have to put it in the context of the fact that in the period of the Second World War, there were very many evil people in Europe. Evil, the most evil people that you can imagine. You can't even imagine the evil. And amongst all that, there were these few people who shone out, who were prepared to literally risk their own lives to save somebody else's life. Happened to be Jews. So this is just a little summary of the story of this particular family, which is Vlietstra, Hendrikus and Willemke, if my pronunciation is right. Okay. And it's got in brackets Quant. Was that another name for him?
I'm not sure.
I think that's a maiden name.
The maiden name, okay. And Hendrikus and Peter Hendrikus and Peter Martinus and Willem and Hendrik Troost Vlietstra, Berendina Vos Vlietstra, and Trinky. Oh, sorry about that. Just turn it off. Hendrikus and Willemke Vlietstra regarded saving Jews as a religious duty, and so they hid Jewish refugees despite their modest financial circumstances and the limited space available on their farm in Hollandscheveld, Drenthe. In 1942, they took in 21-year-old Solomon von Son and Solomon and Yossi Epstein Schwartz, a couple in their 60s. Besides Hendrikus and Willemke, only their 6 children, aged in their late teens and early 20s, knew about the fugitives. The family always shared their limited food supplies with the guests, and they accepted only a small payment. The Vlietstras also gave food away to numerous other people who arrived from the starving West. They also sheltered 2 Russian deserters for several weeks. On November the 22nd, 1944, Dutch SS men raided the farm and interrogated each member of the Vlietstra family separately in an attempt to find out where the Jews had gone. After 23 hours of interrogation, Hendrikus and Willemke and their 2 daughters were released, but the 4 sons remained in custody. When the Vlietstras arrived home, the Jews were upset when they heard that the boys had not returned. They suggested hiding in a shelter in neighboring fields, but the Vlietstras rejected the idea and said that if God had saved the Jews until then, he would surely continue to do so in the future. The 4 Vlietstra sons were sent to a labor camp, but returned safely after the liberation. On May the 8th, 1984, Yad Vashem recognized Hendrikus Vlietstra, his wife Willemke, Vlietstra Quant, their sons, Hendrikus Vlietstra, Peter Marinus Vlietstra, Willem Vlietstra, and Hendrik Vlietstra, and their daughters, Berendina Troost Vlietstra and Trinkie Vos Vlietstra, as righteous among the nations. We'd like to present you with just a small memory of the place. It's just a little thing. Just a photograph. That's in the end. Also one of
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Don's on the phone to his dad right now.
Yeah, just so you guys kind of wonder, well, how am I tied in with this? My mother, this is my mother's great uncle and great aunt that were the Vlietstras, and my aunt, who's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years older than my mother, used to ride her bicycle to the Vlietstra's house all the time with ration coupons hidden in her stockings, because that's how they would, they had to. Everybody was rationing their food in those days during the war, and so they would, I don't know how they collected the ration cards, but they would smuggle them over to the family so that they could get extra food to keep the people hidden, fed. So, thank you very much.
And right here, picture with your dad right there.
Could you hear it, Dad? Okay. Well, I got a picture here with a very nice picture with it's on the wall of remembrance here. So I'll get those pictures to you, okay? Okay, sounds good. We're videotaping it also. Okay. All right, well, I'll talk to you later then, okay? Okay, love you. All right, bye-bye.
Praat jullie die Hollands? Oh ja.
I'll point to it real quick.
This one. Okay, this section right here.
Do you guys want to stand next to it on either side there?
And the camera's coming. Don't move.
Yeah, don't move.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. I didn't know.